Well, the process to start repairs on the Packery Channel jetties are well underway. At the beginning of January, the city agreed to a 10% match for up to $15 million from a FEMA grant. City Council member Greg Smith says the entire process should finish before year's end.
The design is supposed to be 60% complete in May and permits in summertime, but with permits, you never know. Our hope is to be awarding the contract toward the end of this year.
Smith says the city has had to repair the jetties twice before for smaller storms than Harvey. He says the repairs should allow the jetties to handle large storms without heavy damage.